Hello everyone, welcome back. I actually made a bit of a goof. There is another part to step 4 down here I should have told you about. So I will pause the video and I'll let you put that in, and then we'll talk about both parts of step 4. Okay, so in step 4 I asked you to declare an instance variable called labs, and it should be an array list which was going to hold assignment score objects. So here's the syntax. All of our instance variables are going to be private. A declaration is a type followed by a name or identifier. Our type is array list. This is how we tell Java what type of elements our array list should contain. That's not absolutely required that you do that, but it's a really good idea to do it. So I want you to always do that. This is referred to as the diamond operator, and in these less than or greater than signs, you put the type of element that you're going to be using this array list to hold. Here's our name or our identifier. Now this is the optional initialization. I could either create it here or I could create it down in the constructor. It really makes no difference. I happen to put it here, which is fine. If you wanted to put labs equal new array list down here in the constructor, that would be fine too. And the other part of chapter 4 was this adding adding an assignment score to my labs array list. And it's kind of odd. First of all, the array list method just has the array list class just has an add method in it, and I give it the assignment score I want to add. And this is my object reference, my instance variable in this case. And if we looked at the description of the add method, it returns a Boolean. Now that may seem kind of odd. Since an array list is stretchable, you would figure you could always add it. It turns out array list is part of something called the Java Collections Framework, which has a lot of different kinds of ways to organize and collect objects. And some of those collections can refuse basically to add an object when you try to add it. Array list is not usually one of them, but to make the collections framework uniform or consistent, add returns a Boolean. So we are following that tradition here. And in fact, when we get to string set may not add something sometimes. When the client says add this, string set may say no. And so this Boolean return value is how it says no. It returns true if the operation worked. Actually, it returns true if the collection was changed, is the official language, and false otherwise. So that's step 4. I want you to now go tackle step 5, which is return the number of labs the student has. Again, it's going to be a method on an array list, and so it will be a one-liner similar to how this add method was done. So I'll let you do that, and we'll be back in just a moment.